Hello and welcome to the official YouTube channel of the Northern Ireland Football League. My name is Johnny Dunlop and I'm at Milltown this evening ahead of the Lough 41 Championship fixture between Warrenpoint Town and Ballinamallard United. A big game for both sides for different reasons. Warrenpoint Town are keen to keep up their promotion push, while Ballinamallard United are eager to finish in the top six ahead of the split. Ahead of this evening's game, we have been speaking to both managers as well as a preview video which looks ahead to the Batmaclean League Cup final between Linfield and Coleraine.
Scored a good goal away to Ballinamallard for Linfield near the end of the league campaign. It was a long ranger. Also scored a good goal against Glenavon away. In my younger days, beat a few men with my left foot out in the box. I think the favourite one's the goal at the Coleraine Showgrounds against Linfield last minute for one of the first games on Sky. Kind of pulled it out of the sky and buried it with my right foot on the half volley, but it was a good ball from Aaron Cannon, and just last minute goals I think are hard to beat.
What's your favourite goal from Philip?
the one against Linfield the other night. No, he's got a few this season. He's having a great season, and to be fair to him, he's a few more goals than me. So I'll be doing still a bit of catching up to do. Favourite match? I've been lucky enough to win a few trophies, and you always remember kind of the biggest games and them along them run-ins and stuff. But I think the favourite match would be the game against Maribor for Coleraine, just because of the drama of winning it. And the magnitude of it. It was during COVID and there was no fans at the game. It was just an eerie stadium and we were massive underdogs. Took them all the way to penalties and beating them out in their home pitch. It was a bit special. So I'll go for that, but I have had some memorable games in Europe against Celtic and AIK and stuff, which I'll remember fondly. Favourite trophy? I think more for me. I've been lucky to win all the major trophies in the league. It's been for me. It was a long time coming to win a trophy. So the first one was so special. Winning the league because I probably had made about 400 appearances by the time I won my first trophy, and I had a relatively good career. So I think getting that over the line and I played a good part in the run they won the league. It's probably my favourite. In terms of the other trophies I've won, the League Cup, I've been lucky enough. This will be my fourth League Cup final. Lost 2 and won 1. I think that it's a really special one for me to win because it was so tight and marginal. Scored in the final as well, so I'll remember it really fondly. Favourite teammate? For me, favourite teammate would be someone I've spent a lot of time with throughout my career. I liked and had probably a close relationship to. Plenty of good lads along the way. Names come into my head like Aaron Burns, who's someone I played with at Linfield and Coleraine and was a fantastic player. Players at Linfield like Matty Clark, Andy Waterworth, who I was really good friends with. Here at Coleraine, we have a really tight spirit, and I'm good friends with all the lads. And then even back to my last spell at Coleraine, like Gareth Tommins, Paul Owens, who are great lads. And then we've got likes of Dougie and all. But I think I'll go for Mark Stafford. Me and him have always remained friends and around the same age, and we came to Linfield at the same time. And I always would ring him now when I'm travelling to training, and he would ring me. And it's just I'd probably go for Mark because I think highly of him. He's a great fella. Difficult one. Big OG was a great captain here at Coleraine, and was a great servant. And then Jamie was obviously a top captain at Linfield, and then we have Stevie O. I think I'll just go Stevie O. I just think I really like his leadership qualities and stuff. Even though Jamie's a fantastic captain, and you couldn't probably, no one's going to achieve what he's achieved in the game. It's just like Stevie as a captain and the leadership qualities he brings, and it's just like it epitomises the captain really well, and he put his head through a brick wall for Coleraine. Probably easy enough for me. It's probably the one I've spent the most time under in Oran. Really lucky to work with some good managers. And my first manager I worked with Paul Key and Roy Walker and Warren Feeney, Tommy Wright in my early days at Ballymena. Some great names there. And then David Healy was obviously a manager I thought highly of at Linfield, but Oran's been a fantastic manager for my career, a good influence in my career, and I think he's very highly regarded in the Irish League, and rightly so. He's a good way about him, and he's a very fair manager, which I think goes a long way with players. My brother. I'll hardly say that because I haven't really given my mention yet, but no, it's always nice playing against your brother, and he's getting the better of me this season. Anyway, he's having a fantastic season. But again, luckily playing against some fantastic players and loads of good battles over the year with loads of midfielders. Favourite ground? It's really honestly I love going to away grounds and playing the away grounds. I think for me, my favourite ground would be like a packed Seaview or packed Coreen Showgrounds. I think they create a fantastic atmosphere, and there's a good set of away supporters in the ground. It's always the pinnacle playing at Windsor, and when the pitch is good, and it's a fantastic arena, and it's something we all look forward to. But for me, I love under the lights at the likes of a Seaview or Coleraine, where it's packed and the atmosphere. For me, that's what the Irish League's all about. Favourite shirt? Oh God, I remember wearing my debut for Coleraine, wearing a bright yellow kit, had a stinker. I remember I was away to Glenavon. We were playing in a bright orange kit for Linfield as well. A few stinkers along the way, but favourite, the difficult one. I like the blue and white stripes of Coleraine, and to be honest, our current kit, the Nike stuff, is top drawer. So no, the kits kind of get better every year too, and they evolve. To start, you're probably wearing an extra large men's, and you're you're just a skinny wreck. But now it's all everything's fitted, and it's nice and comfortable. Favourite moment? Again, probably individual moments. Scoring in the cup final for me. I scored in the League Cup final and a winning goal in a cup final is it's a very nice thing to do. Probably something that stands out for me. As a midfielder, I remember played in the cup final against Coleraine, and I had a really good game. And it's just one of my favourite moments in my career, because I just felt like I was kind of at the pinnacle of my career then. And that's probably one of my favourite moments, and the fact that I've achieved a lot that season. So, and then we played in front of Celtic, and there was 69,000 at the match. So, but they kind of experience the full-time aspect, which is, I've always been a part-time player, and they experience that for a week, and then experience that size of a crowd was a special moment as well. Irish League and how much it's evolved, the coverage it's getting, and it's unbelievable the position the Irish League's in now. But for me, I love the sense of community and the sense of togetherness that the Irish League brings. You go to an away ground, I love the atmosphere and the experience, and the standard of the football more than anything is improving. So we have a fantastic kind of product and game in the Irish League, and I'm sure the final will be top drawer, because it's two of the best teams in the Irish League, and two teams with a lot of talent. So, and they've got great fan bases as well.
Hello, I'm now joined by Ballinamallard United manager Howie McConkey ahead of this evening's live stream game between Warrenpoint Town and Ballinamallard United. Hey Howie, thanks for joining us.
Hello Johnny, how are you?
Howie, do you want to give us your thoughts on this evening's game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an intriguing game. If you look at the last two, the previous ones, where I think both teams have dominated a half each, and haven't been able to split the result, in terms of teams being really positive from start to finish. That hasn't happened. There's always been windows in those games where somebody else has dominated, but yeah, it's one now where both teams know that 3 points is all that matters. And while the level of performances have been good, I think, from both sides in the games, we felt very hard done by losing in the 95th minute, as in we were 1-0 up, and that equalising goal was like a losing goal in sense of the last game at home, where we were I felt very, very good at times. Yeah.
It's a big game for both sides. Obviously, Warrenpoint Town are pushing for promotion. You yourselves are pushing to finish in the top 6 ahead of the split. How important is it for Ballinamallard to finish in the top 6?
No, it's absolutely important. I mean, it's away it's way below where we wanted to be truthful with you. And I felt even last week in the Dundalk game we had an opportunity to try and aim for that top 4 spot, which at least would be a lot more respectable, But now, yes, with losing last week to Dundalk, we're right back in the mix again, because again we had our sights on getting a good run together, and that's been disrupted sadly.
No problem. Well, Harry, thank you for joining us here this evening. I say we're at Milltown ahead of the live stream game between Warrenpoint Town and Ballinamallard United this evening. Kick-off is at 5:30, so make sure that you're tuned into the official YouTube channel of the Northern Ireland Football League for that. We'll be back in just a few moments with Warrenpoint Town manager Barry Gray.
Favourite match? There's been a few. Maybe away to AZ Alkmaar with Dundalk in the Europa League group stages. We were down to 10 men and scored a last minute equaliser. I had a few friends, my wife was there and 2 of my friends from home in Dublin were there, and we were shooting into the away end as well, so a match where we thought we'd be dead and buried given the kind of calibre of people we were playing. To go and get a draw at the first Irish team to gain a point in the group stage situation under that kind of manner was always stick long in the memory. Favourite game of Olympia was Boxing Day just gone was nice. It was my first Boxing Day win, but probably win the league against Coleraine 2-0 here last year. It's on the final day as ourselves at Cliftonville, we're going to win it, so a bit of pressure with it, and then to win it here, it was packed, and that was it. It was a great thing. It was my first league with Olympia as well, so it was a special moment. Any league you win, I think, is special because how you win, it's judged over a course of 30-something games, so you have to be the best team within the year to win it. So, as well as the kind of benefits and the prizes that come with the league, given European money, chances in Champions League, and filter down through Europe. So, any league I've won has probably been the standout one for me. Favourite goal? I don't have too many. I just take penalties here, so they're not really that special. But I enjoyed the penalty on Boxing Day there away in the Oval, so I'll say that. The Emirates, probably playing away to Arsenal in the Europa League again, was, although the only thing that took the shine off it was in lockdown, so there's no one there. Had there been fans there, it would have been definitely there. But I'd say the Emirates, just because you see it most weeks on Sky Sports, so to play there is nice. Favourite teammate would probably be maybe some unknown to others. Maybe one of my first teammates I was Dave Webster at Bray. Myself and him started out together and still good friends together now. He was actually friends as well with Bashaniri that was here, so there's a few lads know Bass and I know Webby, so I'd have to say Webby. For me, it's probably the change in calendar year, playing summer to summer and 3 o'clock on a Saturday, because for all my career I was Friday nights at 7:45, so that was a nice change for me. So the change and kind of, it's like almost a change of scenery when you played Friday nights for so long, to play Saturday afternoons is good. The teammates, coming in here, like I was 30 years old, coming in as a new lad, and the boys in there just made it, effortless just to slot in as one of the lads. It's such a sound dressing room, and it's good crack, and just to make it easy, because they're good lads. There's no big headedness about them or anything, so you can't be slagging each other on a day-to-day basis. Really, I'm looking forward to it. It's my first League Cup final with Linfield, so it is something to say over the way the league themselves have gone about organising it, and promoting it has been brilliant. We see the success last year's cup final had, so seeing that last year made you think you want to be part of that. Come now the 12th of March. Obviously Coleraine are going well at the minute. Owen's probably assembled the best squad he's had since he's probably been at Coleraine. And for me, they're good. They've been a good cup side over the years, so it's one to savour, definitely.
Hello and welcome back to Milltown. We are here this evening ahead of the Lough 41 Championship fixture between Warrenpoint Town and Ballinamallard United. It'll be live streamed on the official Northern Ireland Football League YouTube channel. I'm joined by Warrenpoint Town manager Barry Gray. How you, Barry?
How's things?
Not too bad, Barry. Thanks for joining us here this evening. big game for Warrenpoint. You want to keep that momentum going and that promotion push going. How do you see this evening's game going?
Yeah, listen, we're looking forward to it. The next 10 games are hopefully going to be big games for us. Tonight's game, a wee bit different. The later kick-off Saturday evening. The other games, obviously, us knowing the results before we start. But boys are looking forward to it. It's a wee bit of an occasion compared to where we have been in recent weeks. So fingers crossed. Ballinamallard been a very tricky opposition for us this season, so we know we're in for a very tight game, and hopefully we come out on the upper end.
Everyone has been talking for most of the season about Lough and Anna United pushing for those promotion places. Warrenpoint have sort of slipped under the radar a wee bit, but there's a potential for you to go second this evening. Is that the way you like it? Do you like Warrenpoint to be slipping under the radar and going for that promotion push in the business end of the season?
Johnny, listen, it's Warrenpoint. The A to B route is never an option for Warrenpoint, and that's always been the case for us here. We don't choose it that way, but it seems to be the way we do things. Listen, we're at the business end. We're in with a fighting chance of potentially winning the league or a promotion spot or a playoff spot, and it's just about taking each game as it comes. Yes, we'd be delighted to move up in the second, because second spot puts it in our hands directly. We're not relying on anyone else. So it's just week by week. You know, results week in, week out, you certainly can't call them at this in championship. So we're hoping we get our result tonight, and maybe some of the teams drop points along the way, and we can continue that quiet run.
No problem. Listen, boy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back in just a few moments with live coverage of the Lough 41 Championship fixture between Warrenpoint Town and Ballinamallard United. So stay tuned, where I will be joined on commentary by Philip Mitchell. Hello and welcome to the official Northern Ireland Football League YouTube channel. My name is Johnny Dunlop and I join you live from Milltown this evening ahead of the Lough 41 Championship fixture between Warrenpoint Town and Ballinamallard United. I am joined on co-commentary by former Portadown, Linfield and Glentoran midfielder Philip Mitchell. How are you, Philip?
Hi Johnny, good to see you.
You too, Philip. Thanks for joining us this evening. It's tight at the top in the Lough 41 Championship. Annie United were beaten this afternoon by Institute, so there is a chance for Warrenpoint Town to go second this evening. How do you see the game going?
Well, that's a big incentive for them when you're kicking off a little bit later in the day and you're aware of the results that have preceded you. It's players will be looking at that, and of course the way that Anna result's going, it is an extra incentive now for Warrenpoint to take advantage of. Of course, I've seen many times over the year that's been the case, and they haven't. Teams haven't done that, but they're in a good rich vein of form. I think they've won 7 since Christmas, so yeah. Well, I mean, Warrenpoint will come here as favourites, but I think they've played against each other twice this year so far, Johnny, so they've been closer games, right?
Yeah, 2 draws. We just have the teams on screen here now, so we'll just run through them for you. Warrenpoint Town are unchanged from their victory last time out against Annie United. They line up with Conor Mitchell in goal, number 3 Stephen Ball, 4 Daniel McKenna, 5 Dylan Hand, 7 Keelan Dillon, 10 Fra McCaffrey, 15 Ryan Swan, 17 Luke Wade Slater, 19 James Carroll, 25 Daniel Byrne and 27 Johnny McMurray. Ballinamallard United make 1 change. They were defeated last time out by Dundela. In comes Ben McCann for Ryan Morse. They line up with in goal Jack Lemonaghan, 3 Ben McCann, 5 Matthew Stafford, 6 Richard Clark, 7 Aaron Arkinson, 8 Ronan McKinley, 9 Nick Palmer, 4 Dara Byrne, 16 John Edgar, 20 Patrick Ferry and 24 is Peter Maguire. As Philip was alluding to earlier on, the sides have met twice already this season in the Lough 41 Championship and they have ended in draws on both occasions. So will it be more of the same this evening, or will Warrenpoint look to take that advantage they've been given to take second place in the Lough 41 Championship? We're just about to kick off here and John Edgar kicks us off. Philip, how do you see both teams setting up for this evening's game?
Well, I suppose it'll take about time for it all to settle down. Let's have a little look at it. I think certainly looking at the personnel and how they've lined up, we chance me down this side for
Luke Wade Slater up against Dara Byrne, gets the cross in, but that's picked up in Richard Clark. Finds Ronan McKinley.
Certainly looking at the personnel, Johnny, it would appear that both teams could be looking something along the lines of a 3-5-2. Let's see how that shapes up. I mean, that 5 in the middle can take different little permutations as the match wears on. People playing on different lures. Somebody may be playing with a 10, somebody playing with a deeper 6. So we'll have to see how that plans out. But it would appear that certainly the front 2 for Warrenpoint of Ryan Swan and Johnny McMurray will be looked after by McCann, Stafford and Maguire from Ballinamallard, and then we have Patrick Ferry and Nick Palmer up front for Ballinamallard, and we imagine they'll be marshalled by Dylan Hand, James Carroll and Daniel Byrne. So I think that midfield battle will be crucial given what we see in the lineups.
Talking of that midfield battle, Ballinamallard United obviously have the vastly experienced Richard Clark there, has been there and done it with Glentoran and Crusaders. He'll be important to them tonight, his experience.
Yeah, well, he's. I remember him many years ago. He was a top player when he seemed like a million years ago. But he's the Peter Pan, I think, of football. I'm not sure what age he is. I still call him young Richard Clark.
Here's Fra McCaffrey breaking here for Warrenpoint Town. Cross into the box, but Jack Lemonaghan is there and gathers that cross.
Yeah, well, McCaffrey, as we suggested, might play in that little hole just slightly further forward of potentially Dylan, Daniel McKenna and Keelan Dillon. So McCaffrey, again, talking about experienced players, John, another very experienced player who's played at the top flight, and that might be an interesting wee battle because Richard might play a little bit deeper for Ballinamallard. So we'll see how that little pairing goes as the game goes on.
Warrenpoint Town now breaking with Daniel McKenna looking for the long ball, but that's cut out and carried forward here by Dara Byrne up against James Carroll, gets a low cross into the box. 4 point clear lines and picked up here by Luke Wade Slater.
Spin away!
Put it on there by Peter McGuire, but Richard Clark going up there and winning that header, and cleared upfield by Ben McCann. Ben McCann, the only change to the Ballinamallard side from their defeat last time out against Dundela.
Yeah, he's going for Ryan Morris. I think they'd have been disappointed with the loss last week against Dundela.
Ballinamallard United fighting to finish in that top 6 berth ahead of the split. For Al McCaffrey for Warrenpoint, but he's overhit that and the ball runs through to Jack Lamonaghan.
We're positioned here either side of 2 vastly experienced managers as well, Johnny. We're talking about McCaffrey and Clark, but Barry Gray and Harry McConkey have been around the block as well.
They're both vastly experienced managers, as you allude to there, Philip.
Huge amount of knowledge of the game. Harry was a wonderful player as well.
And both fully ingrained in their clubs in all aspects of it, Philip.
Listen, you couldn't have said any better, Johnny. 100%. They give a lot. They're hugely respected in their communities, and as you say, they're probably people you have to think long and hard before you'd ever think about a change.
Luke Wade Slater here for Warrenpoint Town, closely marshalled there by Ronan McKinley.
Still feeling each other out in the game. Warrenpoint maybe just a little bit more comfortable in the middle of the park, just in terms of build-up play, but it certainly does look like Clark and McCaffrey's a match-up in there, and natural match-up in the middle of midfield. So the other 2 centre mids matching each other. You can see it very clearly there, and that passage of play. So sometimes when you get shapes like this, Johnny, it's about who's gonna have the bravery to go and join from midfield, or who's the wing back, or who's going to go and make the extra run, get beyond and create the overload. When you get a match up, when you get 2 systems, I guess here are very similar, 3-5-2 it is. Who will create that overload? And it can come from the central areas, it can come from sometimes in the wide areas. But you're as I say, it's still very early in the game. We're only 5 minutes in.
We'll run through the final scores in the other games in this afternoon's Lough 41 Championship fixtures. It finished Ballyclare Comrades 1, Dundela 0, Derg through 2, Ards 3, Harland and Wolf Welders 7, Knockbreda 1, Institute 2, Annie United 0, and Lough 1, Newington 0. So as we were saying earlier on, Warrenpoint Town do have the chance to overtake Annie United and go into second spot this evening with a win here at Milltown. I had spoke to Barry Gray earlier on, Philip, and sort of said that Warrenpoint Town have sort of slipped under the radar so far. Everybody has been speaking about Lough and Annie United, but a win here today puts Warrenpoint Town into that second place come the business end of the season.
Does indeed. Sometimes it's good to come up on the rails and nobody's really watching. You get that wee bit of momentum, and that Barry's a vastly experienced manager. I think he's brought Warrenpoint up at least once, maybe twice in his career. So he'll have the experience of going down the home straight. He's got some experienced players to call on there as well. So interesting to see some of these parents up front and how they'll work against playing against the 3, which I guess most weeks you're not necessarily playing against the 3. So that'll be new for Swan McMurray and
Johnny McMurray breaking here for Warrenpoint.
Offside.
But Ryan Swan offside. Johnny McMurray obviously arrived in the January transfer window, a real high profile signing, and the signing of a 10th from Warrenpoint Town. Arrived from Crusaders, had scored the winner for Crusaders in the Irish Cup final back in May to break Ballymena United hearts. 2 in 3 time goals there, won the cup for the Cruise. He's a real signing that brings great experience to that Warrenpoint Town side, Philip, especially coming into this promotion running.
Well, you used the word intention there earlier, Johnny, and there's a lot of intent when you sign someone like that. I'm not sure he scored a lot of goals thus far, but he's he's probably got an enormous amount of presence around the dressing room. He gives everybody else a lift, and as you say, there's the experience of playing at that higher level, which he brings onto the pitch, and of course in the dressing room as well. So yeah, it's a a real signing of intent from Barry. And if you look at their record from January, I'm not sure what point in January he entered into their squad, but I think they've won 7, drawn 1, lost 2. So their stats have been good since the turn of the year, which is why, as you say, we'll see them coming up the rails.
Coming on your blind side.
Yeah, Warrenpoint have really put a great run of form together at the business end of the table. Here's Mark Stafford. His attempted pass runs out of play. Yeah, they've only lost 1 of their last 9 championship fixtures. That was against league leaders Lough. That 1-0 win last weekend against Ballinamallard United, and it's that form that has propelled them to the cusp of that playoff spot in second.
And still quite a few games to be played, of course, so they could still catch Lough as well.
Let's go, John! Drop, John! Take it out!
Lough picking up maximum points this afternoon, as we were saying earlier on. They're beating Newington, so Lough with a bit of a cushion at the top of the table, but there's still a lot of football to be played. Here's Fra McCaffrey for Warrenpoint, cuts inside, but is outnumbered there by 3 or 4 Ballinamallard players. It's Richard Clark. Richard Clark with a rasping ball that's picked up. Finds Patrick Ferry, but that's mopped up by the Warrenpoint defence. Here's Stephen Ball, cleared upfield, helped back on by Richard Clark. Ronan McKinley. Wade Slater looks for McMurray. McMurray with a layoff, picked up again by Wade Slater, but his pass again looking for McMurray is picked up by Ronan McKinley. See Ballinamallard there looking to finish in that top 6. Garth ahead of the split, Philip. It's really tight there at the moment. You know, there's 3 or 4 teams all sitting on similar points. Obviously victories today for Ballyclare Comrades and Harlan and Wolf Welders. Ballinamallard will have to put a bit of form together, won't they, if they want to finish in that top 6 spot.
Well, I'd say I think when you're in that sort of, you're not going to probably get a playoff spot. You just want to say, I want to finish as high up as you can. You've got to take one game at a time. It's a wee bit then, I suppose, for managers to say, hey, you guys are playing for contracts next year. You're trying to build it so you can have a proper go again next year. So, but listen, they've got a experienced manager that'll keep lots of great passing there. Good idea. Yeah, it was good. McCaffrey actually reversed and trying to go in behind. It was good play from Johnny McMurray. You said a lot of experience actually on both sides. You think about Mark Stafford as well, obviously.
Yeah, another player beaten there and done it, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, fantastic career at Linfield, and obviously came from Ballinamallard originally, didn't he?
Yes.
I think he came up with David Key at the time. That was the 2 signings that I think it was Warren Feeney maybe signed both of them from memory.
Yeah, hugely successful career at Linfield for Mark Stafford. League titles and Irish Cups. Joined Glenavon then, but it was a short stay at Warrenview Park before making the move back home, as he would say to Ballinamallard.
Yep.
People talk about our coverage bringing you close to the action, Philip. I don't think we could be any closer.
You really get clobbered with the ball there.
Keep working! Get up!
Ball across, goal. Luke Wade Slater with the ball upfield, but that will go straight out of play and that'll be a throw into Ballinamallard United. Still waiting on the game settling down, Philip.
Yeah, I think it's certainly both teams have maintained they've stretched the game as much as you can. You see the 2 Ballinamallard players wide players, just when the keeper has the ball, are right under on the touchline here.
Picked up by Darburn for Ballinamallard United, looking for the ball over the top, but that's headed clear.
Well, that seems to be a facet of how Harry's maybe trying to play, is keeping those 2 players wide on touchline, and then
Ronan McKinley tries to cut inside, but Warrenpoint went back, possession come forward with McCaffrey, and then Johnny McMurray with a flick. But Richard Clark, the vastly experienced Richard Clark, showing all his years of Irish League football there, gets back in to win that, but Warrenpoint Town come again.
Yeah, he recovered again quickly. Did. Harkinson and Byrne have stayed in good wide positions, and when you do that, sometimes you get the penetration through the middle because you're stretching people out in the you're stretching the game, and then you're providing pockets of space to play through the central areas. So that's what something Harry will be trying to do, and obviously trying to get Richard on the ball more, and McKinley and Edgar to give some problems to the Warrenpoint 2 centre mids. But they're all pretty well matched up, and I suppose we're interested to see if we can see some more combinations from Ferry and Palmer and Swan and McMurray, see how they combine. But so still will be the cat and mouse.
Wherever you're tuning in to this evening's live coverage, let us know. Leave a comment on the comment section of our YouTube channel. Get in touch with us through our socials, the Northern Ireland Football League on Facebook and Twitter, and let us know where you're tuning in from this evening. Always delighted to see people tune in no matter where they are from in and around the world, so let us know.
Exactly the same fucking thing both sides.
The Monaghan will take this free kick for Ballinamallard United. The Monaghan on loan from Derry City. Here's McKinley, but he's off balance as he attempts that effort, and it goes well wide of Conor Mitchell's goal.
And you get into those spaces and you win second phase ball there, you need a bit more composure just to sometimes keep it. Maybe the strike's not on, so just needed to be a bit smarter there. But decent amount of football being played by both sides, not territorial at all. They're trying to play through the lures, trying to stretch the game. So
Brian come forward. Great run here by Stephen Ball, looking for Luke Wade-Slater down the right, but overhits that pass, and that'll be a goal kick. We were talking earlier on about goals in these sides, by Ballinamallard. You know, they have the least goals scored in the league so far, Philip.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, their top goal scorer, Shane McGinty, not involved here this evening. Neither is Caelan McAleer. John Edgar is their top goal scorer with 4.
Yeah, it's hard to believe the team that are really in around that sort of 6-7 position or scored the least goals. And I think I'm right in saying Warrenpoint scored the second the most amount of goals behind Lough goals. So I suppose that's what you expect from a team here up to second, third. But yeah, it is interesting that there's been a shortage of goals. But I think there's probably been a lot of injuries at Ballinamallard as well. It's maybe taking their toll over the season, Johnny. So maybe that's played a part.
Prior to this evening's game, Ballinamallard United have a 9 games won, 9 games drew, and 9 games lost. So perfect symmetry between their form and the Lough 41 Championship so far this season. Here's McKinley for Ballinamallard. Ball out wide. Finds a run of Edgar. Edgar gets the final touch, but the ball was running away from him. That'll be a goal kick to Warrenpoint Town.
But that's the sort of thing you need if you're going to try and sort of create those little overloads or break into the seams and play in behind. So a good run from Edgar from midfield to try and get him behind there. Darragh Burns impressed me on this left-hand side, as has Stevie Ball on the other side. The two wide left players have both been productive, coming inside as well as going outside. So it's a little interesting note as the game progresses. You get on the ball early in a game and you're feeling comfortable and you're playing well. You know, those are players in wide areas that can hurt you through the central areas as well, as their confidence grows in the game.
18 minutes gone here at Milltown. Still Warrenpoint Town 0, Ballinamallard United 0. No real chances of note from either side so far. Luke Wade-Slater. Ball back from Ball. Gets to the byline, puts a cross into the box, but Mark Stafford is there. That'll be a corner to Warrenpoint Town. Stephen Ball will float this corner. Ball, who signed for Warrenpoint in July 2020, former St Pat's defender. Ball with a corner, but headed clear, drops for Fran McCaffrey. He goes back out to the corner taker. Ball, he puts a looping ball that nearly goes back to halfway inside the Ballinamallard half, but Warrenpoint retain possession.
Keelan Dillon done great there. Pulled that ball down out of the air.
Ball into the box. Ball is ball over the top, but it runs out for a goal kick to Ballinamallard United. As we were saying earlier on, Philip, former Linfield midfielder, the Bat McLean League Cup final is coming up on Sunday the 12th of March at the National Stadium. Tickets are on sale now. You can get your tickets from nifootballleague.com/tickets. Promises to be a showpiece final. There's Fran McCaffrey. Ball across, finds McMurray. But
great play from McCaffrey and a great cutback, I believe, from Stevie Ball on the far side. Johnny McMurray would be disappointed. I don't think Stevie got the perfect contact on to get it back, and then Johnny was dealing with a bit of a bobbly one, but he didn't maybe make the contact he had hoped for. So, but first really good chance there. Fran McCaffrey, the architect, playing on that number 10 role, getting him behind.
Just seeing a replay of it here now. Yeah, you're correct. I don't think Johnny McMurray got everything off that. I don't think he got a clean strike on it. It sort of bobbled its way through to the Monaghan and the Ballinamallard goal.
But that's what they've got. They've got Fran McCaffrey, such an experienced player. And I remember him playing at Glen Torn team. He played him behind Curtis Allen, and I can't remember who was right and left in that team. I'm trying to think who was. He was a great Coleraine player, played wide and right, and then he went to
Stephen
Carson. That was a really good sort of front four they had. I think Jordan Stewart maybe played in that as well, and Curtis Allen. And remember McCaffrey playing him behind there was great. He was in a time when not a lot of people were playing sort of one in the hole, running behind. He was a super player in that number 10 role. So it's good that Barry's using him in the way that he is.
He's the architect, I feel, of this Warrenpoint Town team. When Fran McCaffrey plays well, Warrenpoint Town tend to play well.
You tend to find that with number 10s.
Here, Fran McCaffrey joined Warrenpoint Town July 2018 from Ballinamallard United. As Philip alludes to, he had been at Glentoran and Dundalk, also was at Hull City in his youth before returning to the Irish League. Ronan McKinley with the effort, but it's high, hitting the stand behind the goal, but
better. A couple of times McKinley just won a bit of second phase ball in there. The balls had dropped. That was a better effort. Need that bit of composure, and he was right to pull the trigger at that time. He broke himself into that left hand inside left channel, and just needed to keep it down.
If you haven't already, if you're tuning in, as I say, on our Northern Ireland Football League YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, tick that notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of the great content that comes up on there. Loads of great Premiership and Championship content. Warrenpoint trying to take a quick free kick there. Daniel Byrne, but ball rebounded off Ronan McKinley, and I'll be taken again. The referee will want to have a quick word with McKinley for not retreating in time.
Ball was moving anywhere there.
Referee this evening, Shane McGonigal. He's assisted by Aaron Graham and Ethan Craig.
I was chatting to Shane before the game. He drove down from Coleraine, so I said he was driving down. You'll be the one doing most of the running about out there today as well. So.
It's cleared there by Dara Byrne, but Ballinamallard players seem to come over the top of Johnny McMurray. McMurray's down, holding his head, but I don't think Shane McGonigal has give a free kick, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe as the ball went out for a corner, just is that what's been given? Just seeing a replay of that on the screen now.
Yeah, corner kick, I think. Yeah, he didn't give anything.
Yeah, it was Ronan McKinley came over the top of McMurray, but no free kick. It'll be a corner to Warrenpoint.
Ballinamallard got everybody back, nobody out. Interesting.
Ballinamallard United. Everybody back in the 18-yard box for this corner. Corner floated in. Because Johnny McMurray that heads up just over the bar.
Well, 23 minutes in, I suppose they've both had a couple of half chances. The McMurray one was maybe one if Stevie Ball gets a better delivery back in. You think McMurray would have done better with that. And then I suppose McKinley's shot there maybe a few minutes ago was the closest that Ballinamallard have been. But it's still been a decent game. Still feeling each alright a wee bit of a cat and mouse. But the game's well stretched now. The wide players have basically, as I say, stayed wide and allowed the central players to try and penetrate through the central areas.
Patrick Ferry finds Edgar, back to Ferry. Ferry with the ball over the top. Looking for the run of Nick Palmer. It'll be a throw into Ballinamallard. Just the attack very quickly is Ronan McKinley. Looks like Richard Clark. Clark miscontrols that, and that's picked up by Johnny McMurray for Warrenpoint Town. He puts the ball down the right, looking for the run of Wade Slater, but that's played back to keeper by Gustavo. But Le Monaghan's got that back pass wrong, and it's Wade Slater. There's appeals for a penalty there. He was offended by Dara Byrne, but Shane McGonigal isn't having any of it.
Well,
we're just seeing a replay of it here now. Le Monaghan's back pass was poor, and
courtesy from her. Yes. Certainly Shane was in a really good position, so we'll trust the referee's judgment on that one.
Wade Slater flicks out across to Murray. Murray looking for the hook pass, but it's intercepted. It's Richard Clark. Ronan McKinley.
Super. Yeah, really good build-up play. Really good build-up play. Big Palmer who pulled out wide on that far side, which is, I've noticed he's done that a few times, Johnny. Just whenever they've built up, he's drifted out of that right-hand channel. And
Mark Stafford has got that wrong, but he recovers and clears upfield. That'll be a throw into Warrenpoint Town. Taken quickly by Wade Slater, finds McMurray. McMurray twists and turns.
Good tackle.
Stephen Ball still with it out on the left hand side, trying to get away from Oren Arkinson. Gets the ball into the box, falls for Wade Slater, but he slices his shot by 10 yards from goal and sends it wide of Le Monaghan's left hand post.
Yeah, Stevie Ball done well in the end. Looked like Aaron Arkinson had shut him down, but it was good delivery, and it was a wee chance there for Wade Slater. Maybe thinking he maybe would have done better with that strike.
A bit similar to McMurray's a few minutes before. He just didn't catch it correctly and skewed it wide.
Well, that's one of the ones you got to keep your eye on the ball there, that's for sure. Trust your technique.
Ballinamallard passing the ball around at the back, looking for openings. Ben McCann goes back to Le Monaghan. Le Monaghan again gets that wrong, and the ball fell for McMurray, but that's a penalty. Le Monaghan adjudged to have fouled McMurray.
Well, he made the mistake, and the referee's in a good position again. It looked like he's obviously the direction of the ball has travelled as he's made the challenge here.
Le Monaghan's first, he tried his attempted pass back to Ben McCann. He got that all wrong. The ball drops for McMurray.
It looks like he got a lot of the ball there, doesn't it, Johnny? You know, when you see.
Just look back at this now, Philip. To me, it does, yeah.
Looks like he got a lot of the ball. I mean, that's an interesting one. Maybe the referee's seen it from a different angle where he's maybe. He's caught the play. Maybe went a bit high with his boot. I don't know.
There's a yellow card there for Ballinamallard goalkeeper Le Monaghan.
I'd be disappointed with the mistake he's made in the first instance.
Architects of their own downfall, really, there, Philip.
Yeah.
There had been warnings. There had been a couple of times Le Monaghan had give the ball away from passing attempts. So it's a penalty to Warrenpoint Town.
Well, I say, Shane McGonigal was in a good position there again. As I was watching him just as the action happened, so it's a good view. But certainly where we are, you kind of look where the direction of the ball went when Lemonaghan's made the challenge, and you're looking and saying, it looked like he's got plenty on the ball, doesn't it? So
yeah, it seems that from our angle.
Unless the referee thought his foot was high.
It'll be Rand Swan to take the penalty here for Ballinamallard United, or for Warrenpoint Town rather.
He scored a penalty last week against Anna, is that right?
Yes, 7 goals so far this season. And that's saved by Lemonaghan. Ballinamallard clear, a big save there from Ballinamallard United keeper. Lemonaghan was his foul that had led to the penalty.
Mark Stafford down the box as well.
See a replay of the penalty.
He's a great save with his feet. We've seen that before, haven't we? Somebody get down the middle and keeper leaving his feet trailing. That's exactly what happened again there, wasn't it? Well done to Mark Stafford.
Yeah, it was a vital challenge there by Mark Stafford in the aftermath of that penalty save.
So if we were right and the referee was wrong, maybe justice was done. But Shane was in a good position, so maybe as I say, he had a different view on it. But well, certainly Ballinamallard will be pleased that keeps him in the game.
Yeah, it was Rand Swan who grabbed the winner last week for Warrenpoint Town against Anna United, but his penalty saved by Lemonaghan. And as we were saying there, a vital challenge from Mark Stafford in the aftermath there to clear that. It looked like the ball may break for Swan to score the rebound, but Stafford with a great tackle in there to get the ball out.
Experience to remember that anything can happen once the penalty's been taken. He reacted so quickly. There's a great battle down that opposite side of the pitch from us, Johnny, between Arkinson and Ball. Two really good players. The wide players in both teams have been really impressed me. Dara Byrne and Wade Slater on the side of both good players as well. What we haven't seen really is the outside of McCaffrey and obviously Clark, he doing a role, a good job in a deeper role. We haven't seen the sort of other 4 centre midfield players to each team really doing any damage. McKinley maybe getting a bit of second phase ball and getting a couple of shots off, but
it's McKinley for Ballinamallard looking for Raspin ball, looking for Nick Palmer, but that's overhit and that'll be a throw into Warrenpoint Town level with their 18-yard box.
Just get a bit of tighter. Seems to be part of the tactic of Ballinamallard. Palmer, whenever they do get a Palmer, drifts out into that right channel, so he does, and they're obviously trying to get him one-on-one with I think it's James Carroll out on that far side.
Nick Palmer arrived at Ballinamallard United from Monaghan United in January 2020. That's been a vital part of that Ballinamallard United squad since his arrival. Here's Luke Wade Slater. Jinkin and Jiven gets the ball back to James Carroll, but his ball into the box. Doesn't find its target, and then an effort there from Warrenpoint Town is well wide of Lemonaghan's goal. Still Warrenpoint Town 0, Ballinamallard United 0. 32 minutes gone here at Milltown. Best chance of the game fell to Warrenpoint Town. A penalty miss from Rand Swan, saved by Ballinamallard United keeper Jack Lemonaghan, who had committed the foul that had led to the penalty. Caffrey wins that header. There's Edgar. Edgar finds Richard Clark. Clark to McKinley. McKinley finds Palmer out on the right hand side, but Dylan Hand is there and goes back to his keeper Connor Mitchell.
He hasn't any joy, Palmer, against Hand out that side, but he seems intent on sort of going into that sort of wide area. I wonder sometimes it'd be better, keeping the 3 centre halves honest through the middle and see if they can get Arkinson down that side. But fascinating tactical battle, and sometimes in these situations it's who blinks first and who's going to sort of take a little bit of initiative, and as I said earlier, who's going to create them little overloads. And 2v1 situations is what they're looking for in lots of different areas of the park. 2 are better than 1, you get a better return for your labour. That's what they're hoping to do in all over the park, both teams. But thus far hasn't seen too many chances come off the back of it.
Who'll be the happier after 33 minutes here, Philip? Who has?
Well, I think Ballinamallard, purely because they can save the penalty, or the keeper made the save from the penalty. But certainly Warrenpoint have probably been the better team. But sometimes when they get the ball in this deeper area, Ballinamallard to move the ball quickly, and they've passed it well. And the build-up play is good. It's got the hallmarks of the Harry McConkie side. Good referee in there.
Yeah. Ronan McKinley looking for Palmer, but that's intercepted.
That ball's been intercepted 3 or 4 times, hasn't it? McKinley looking to hit the diagonal, and
Dylan Hand looking for the runner, Rand Swan, but that's cut out by Ballinamallard United. Richard Clark.
But Ballinamallard will be encouraged by obviously the penalty save, and actually some of their midfield build-up play here has been great. It's this final
it's
ball.
It's that final ball, isn't it, Philip?
Yeah, there hasn't really been. Yes, but they haven't really had anything in there.
Right on cue with that comment about the final ball, as the ball made its way through to Conor Mitchell in the Warrenpoint Town goal.
John Edgar's made a few runs in behind there, but they haven't had that tailing pass yet. The more they get Clarkey on the ball here, the better.
Clark looking for Ferry.
They got a corner there.
Corner to Ballinamallard United.
Yeah, Ferry going down there with Palmer, and they managed to get a 2-on-1, and they've got a corner on the far side. So first corner of this half for Ballinamallard, is that right?
I believe that is right. Richard Clark will take this. There's Mark Stafford up from the back.
And Ben McCann, who's a sizable presence in there.
All the big men up for Ballinamallard United for this corner. Floated corner. There's a huddle and a few bodies flying there at the back post, and at the heels of the hunt is a free kick given by Shane McGonigal.
Yeah, big mark over there. It was hard to see how that was a free kick against Ballinamallard, but there we are.
Seeing a replay of it here now.
Yeah, it seemed like more of a coming together of bodies, didn't it? Some good football from Ballinamallard just the last 3 or 4 minutes. Some good little passages of play, keeping the ball, good little triangles, drawing the opposition out. Just haven't been accurate enough maybe when they then went to switch the ball to play to the other side. And
Wade Slater looking for the ball inside, but Ballinamallard regained possession. Here's Richard Clark, but he's bundled over by Fra McCaffrey, and that'll be a free kick, but taken too quickly for Shane McGonigal's liking, and that will have to be retaken by Clark. Clark with the ball out wide, but Warrenpoint Town pick up possession here with Keelan Dillon. Dillon with a ball over the top, looking for the run of Wade Slater up against Dara Byrne.
There's some pass from Dillon there.
Dara Byrne wins that challenge and puts the ball upfield, but that's picked up again. Caffey with the header finds Johnny McMurray. Very looking for Swan, but challenge there, but we play on. Ferry looking for the ball out wide, looking for the run of Oren Arkinson, finds Arkinson up against Stephen Ball. He goes back to McKinley. McKinley with the ball into the box. Last touch comes off Warrenpoint Town defender, and that'll be a throw into the Ballinamallard. Ballinamallard starting to probe and ask questions now, Philip.
Big time, yeah, really good. And their football's been good. They've kind of kept the ball inside areas, good little triangles, switched the ball, and the accuracy of that final ball starting to improve now. Good, so they're certainly posing problems now for Warrenpoint.
Throwing was picked up by Liquid Cedar, back with Ballinamallard United. Cross into the box. It's headed clear. It'll be picked up here by McKinley. He hooks it back into the box. Penalty, yes. Handball. Referee Shane McGonigal judges that came off the hand of Daniel Byrne.
Well, he was well positioned against Shane, so let's have a look at it here on the monitor. But it was good build-up play. McKinley done well to get it back into the box, and Ferry went for the overhead, didn't come off. And then we had the strike, and That's James Carroll, is that right? Is it James Carroll? No, it's not. It's I'm trying to think who the player is who's been given the yellow card.
I think it's possibly Daniel Byrne has received that yellow card, yeah. It'll be Ballinamallard United captain Richard Clark to take this penalty up against Connor Mitchell. Second penalty of the game, first one obviously saved. But here's Richard Clark for Ballinamallard United. And he puts the ball into the top corner to give Ballinamallard United the lead here at Milltown.
And what a penalty! And what a penalty! No one saving those ones. Putting his body up beautiful, stuck at that top left-hand corner of the goal. So yeah, you say probably, you didn't see that coming whenever there was a penalty kicking down the other end, and Ballinamallard were starting to look a little bit sort of soft-centred, and all of a sudden they came back, really good football in the build-up, and that was I'd love to see the penalty incident again that led up to that, but they've certainly played really well in the last 5, 6, 7 minutes, and they've deserved that opportunity. So well done, great penalty from Clarkey.
Richard Clark with his first goal of the season as he converts that penalty. He looked like a seasoned striker the way he put that penalty away there, Philip.
Well, he's knows how to strike a ball, that's for sure.
Sliding challenge there by McKinley. Ball with Warrenpoint through Keelan. Dillon with the ball forward. That'll come through to Stafford.
Keelan Dillon's a good footballer. Some of the things he's done in this game have been tremendous for Warrenpoint. Just really tidy on the ball. That pass, if you remember, just prior, not a moment or two before the goal, he hit the big diagonal in behind. Really good player.
Just throw into Warrenpoint Town just inside the Ballinamallard United half. Lough Slater with a throw to McMurray, but he miscontrols that and allows Ballinamallard to gain possession, but the ball follows through to Warrenpoint Town goalkeeper Connor Mitchell, who gets the game quickly back underway. Lough Slater miscontrols that and allows Darburn to pick up the ball for Ballinamallard United. The Ballinamallard left wing looking for support, but he tricks his way past his mark and puts a cross into the box, but he gets that all wrong.
Brilliant skill on the touchline here, lovely. Just turned the player, brought him back the other way. Nice little Cruyff trick through his legs, and but he disappointed with the final ball.
Yeah, poor cross in the box after doing all the hard work.
Yep. But it's been impressive this half, Darburn.
From McCaffrey picks that up for Warrenpoint Town. He's fouled. That'll be a free kick just inside the centre circle. Warrenpoint will look for a quick reply here before half time. Here's Daniel McKenna for Warrenpoint Town. Out to Lough Slater. His cross is blocked. Cleared upfield, but that'll go back there with James Carroll. But Ballinamallard can break here through Patrick Ferry. Ferry goes for the shot from distance, but
that's the wrong choice there. Need to keep it here now. Good, Clarkey's available.
Clark to McKinley back to Clark, the goal scorer. Fizzes the ball into Edgar, but Edgar unable to control, and Warrenpoint Town regain possession. Here's from McCaffrey.
Good boy, John. Cross running. Root it back in, root it.
Stephen Ball gets his header all wrong, and Ballinamallard regain possession and clear upfield.
Come on, these two! Keep working!
Donnaburn carries the ball into Ballinamallard half. Here's from McCaffrey. He looks for the first time ball to McMurray. McMurray twists and turns, tries to get away, but John Edgar's there to win back possession for Ballinamallard United. And here's Ronan McKinley. There's a bit of a rough and tumble going on up here, but we play on. And then a cynical shove in the back there from Stephen Ball, and that'll be a free kick to Ballinamallard United.
Yeah, good play from Aaron Arkinson again. It was just a wee moment or two there in the last pass you play, whenever Clarkey had the ball, and we were looking like they were going to build a play through the central, and Arkinson didn't make himself available on the right hand side. It led to him trying to force the ball through Edgar, as you said. they lost possession, and then there was just a wee spell there where they were just starting to look a wee bit sort of we're going to sit back here, and there's still 3 or 4 minutes to go to half time, and that could be a danger as well, you know, sort of go, well, 1-0 up, we're going to hit half time, get 1-0 up, but they've managed to weather that little piece of storm. They've got a free kick here in the middle part, but what you don't want to do is say, let's go for half time, and there's 6 or 7 minutes still to go on the clock, and you sit deep, and you know, you haven't been playing like that the rest of the game, and then you invite trouble onto you. So
Clark with a free kick finds Patrick Ferry. Ferry tries to get his cross, but that's blocked by Stephen Ball. Picked up here by Daniel McKenna for Warrenpoint Town. He skips away from Edgar, but his ball straight to Richard Clark. Ballinamallard United come again. Clark with a dink ball over the top, but just finds a Warrenpoint man, but Clark's there to win possession again, but presents that straight back to Warrenpoint Town again, and Keelan Dillon ball finds McCaffrey, but he can't control that, but Richard Clark, Ballinamallard captain, dwells on it and has the ball stolen away from him, but Ballinamallard.
Terrific battle down that side. Arkinson, Ball, Arkinson doing all the. I think what we're seeing here in these last 5 minutes certainly were Arkinson and Darragh Byrne have been just terrific, just tracking back, making sure Wade Slater and Ball are not getting in behind him, just saying, well, we'll do our job, we'll just let him go there.
Let's look, Wade Slater away his ball into the box, only found Stafford miscontrolled and presented an opportunity for McMurray, but McMurray's effort was blocked in the box.
They need bodies to come with him here. Well done, McKinley, well done. Bodies weren't there, and he's recycled.
All upfield, but only as far as Daniel Byrne clears. Wade Slater and Arkinson challenge, but Warrenpoint have the ball and come away with it.
Keep working, Paddy. Pull it.
Dylan Hunt. Look for this ball out to the right to Luke. Wade Slater again. It's cut out, but ball presents itself to Wade Slater. Looks for support. Finds Daniel McKenna. McKenna with the ball through, but that's cut out on the edge of the area.
Peter McGuire's done well. He's made some good interceptions just the last couple of passes of play.
It's Keelan Dillon for Warrenpoint.
Strange clearance by Mark Stafford.
Both teams struggling to keep possession for any length of time here, Philip. It's all a bit frantic at the moment.
Man, Ballinamallard don't need to do that because they just need to settle on it and pass their way out again.
Carroll finds McMurray, where he tries to get away from Peter McGuire, and then there's a hard challenge by Johnny McMurray. Ballinamallard United aren't happy with that challenge. There's a yellow card for McMurray. He's demonstrating with the referee and the linesman that doesn't feel that was a foul, but it's a booking nonetheless for Johnny McMurray.
Well, right in front of the linesman, so he
the best view in the house,
best view in the house, and the most experienced man to make the decision. So we're in the time added on now.
Darragh Byrne, the Ballinamallard United player on the end of that Johnny McMurray challenge. So in injury time here at Milltown. Warrenpoint Town 0, Ballinamallard United 1. Ballinamallard United taking the lead through a Richard Clark penalty, his first goal of the season. Warrenpoint Town had a chance to take the lead early in the game through a penalty, but Ryan Swan's spot kick was saved by Jack Lemonaghan in the Ballinamallard United goal. See, a win for Warrenpoint Town this evening will see them overtake Annie United into second place in the Lough 41 Championship. So all not going to plan so far for Barry Gray's side. Jack Lemonaghan will look to put this upfield as Ballinamallard United want to get to half time with that 1 goal lead.
Yep. Important to stay alert now, Ballinamallard.
And there is the half-time whistle here at Milltown. So at half-time it is Warrenpoint Town 0, Ballinamallard United 1 in the Lough 41 Championship. Richard Clark's penalty in the 30th minute, giving Ballinamallard United the lead. So saying earlier on, Warrenpoint Town had a penalty saved earlier on in the game, Ryan Swan's penalty miss. Phil, what's the story of the first half?
The story of the first half is Harry McConkey's going off significantly happier than Barry Gray. That's what the managers go. Yeah, I mean, Ballinamallard, I mean, it was a pretty even game, and the way the two teams are set up, their systems, both playing 3-5-2, a little bit of cat and mouse. I think I've actually enjoyed the game. I think both teams have tried to stretch the game. That's meant there's been more central areas. Sometimes you get 3-5-2, can get very congested in the middle of the park. Teams don't necessarily, the wide players don't necessarily stay wide. But we've had a fairly open, expansive game. We've seen really good pockets of play from Warrenpoint. From McCaffrey, particularly early on, has got into that 10 position, wriggled himself free, tried to put people in behind. Johnny McMurray's looked a threat. Ryan Swan as well. McMurray, of course, had the opportunity. Ball didn't maybe just get the ball. Stevie Ball just get the ball back to him in the way but I wanted to. But certainly, as the game was wearing on, you were probably thinking that Warrenpoint were in the ascendancy. And to get the penalty, we thought maybe it was a wee tad harsh, but as I say, Shane had a good view, and you kind of thought if they get in front here now, they'll maybe start to put the foot down. But great save from the keeper, great clearance from Mark Stafford, following up from that, and then the game just started to change a little bit, didn't it? So it kind of almost seemed to deflate Warrenpoint a little bit, and Ballinamallard seemed to take confidence from we're still in the game, and they had some great passages of play just leading up to eventually the penalty kick that they got, which I'd love to see that maybe that if we get a wee chance, maybe at some point maybe we'll see that, the handball. But certainly the penalty kick was brilliant. It was a great penalty kick from Clarkey, and then there was a wee spell. I just thought, oh gosh, they're going to sit back here and invite Warrenpoint on to them here for the last 6 or 7 minutes, but they managed to they snuffed the play out and then built the play up again. But no, listen, Ballinamallard have been great. They'll be really happy. But I'm pretty impressed with the standard both sides. There's been a lot of good football played. Both teams, and they're both trying to play the right way, which makes it attractive for anybody coming to watch the game like us and all the supporters. So yeah, been a good first half.
We're going to take a break here during half time. There will be some Northern Ireland Football League content at half time here, while we will be at the second half of this Lough 41 Championship fixture between Warrenpoint Town and Ballinamallard United. If you're tuning in on the Northern Ireland Football League YouTube channel, make sure to give the channel your subscribe to the channel, and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any content. Also, as we were saying earlier on, the Bet McLean League Cup final coming up on Sunday the 12th of March at the National Stadium, Linfield against Coleraine. You can get your tickets for that cup final on nifootballleague.com/tickets. We're going to take a brief break here, and we will be back for second half coverage of Warrenpoint Town against Ballinamallard United.
Started for my grandfather. He was born in the Donegal Road and was an avid Linfield fan, and then the migration out to Rathcoole started, and he moved out to there and was one of the early members of the First Newton Abbey Linfield Supporters Club. So they always went to the matches, and then he started my father going to the matches. So the natural progression was when I got old enough, I went to the matches. Match day would be a bit chaotic. Caitlin would be playing hockey for school most weeks. She just says, can I go one day? And she went one day, and to be fair, home away, she loves it. She just, so it's became a real family occasion for us. Dylan would be playing football. He plays in the National League. And then we come together, and we normally either meet my dad would either come and watch, or we would meet him on the road up, pick him up, and then we just head to Windsor. It's great meeting up with people, the same people. We literally have friends at Linfield who we don't see any other time. We don't even know their second names, but knowing their first names for probably 25, 30 years. So it's good, but to bring your friends and my kids have met other kids, and you meet them in other places, and you have that in common, that you're in matches at Linfield. Get out, support the team. You know, I think it was 11,000 last year. It would be amazing to get more than that. You know, Linfield, we should be getting 11,000 probably on our own. So it would be cup final. You want to win. You know, we've already lost one cup final this year. We're not going to be in the Irish Cup final. So you know, this is a big one. And a Sunday final. I personally think Sunday games are great. And it has a real family day, because you can go out for a bite of lunch or you can go for breakfast. You're not in a rush, because it's Saturday. You know, it's all around other sport. You know, for the kids. So it's great, you know, on a Sunday you can go, bit of breakfast, maybe even a couple of sneaky beers beforehand, and then hopefully celebrating afterwards.
Saturday's a busy day, as any family man or woman will know. Saturday's a busy day in a household, so you know everything's just going on a Saturday morning. So it's a wee bit manic till you get your lunch at 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then it's in the car and up the road to wherever we're going to that on any given Saturday.
You see faces that you don't see week in, week out, or even through the week or whatever, and you get to meet up with them on Saturday and you get a gulder and a laugh and a joke to carry on. That's what it's about. Like, the way down, seeing their wee mates and running about, running riot, the fresh air, rather than sitting cooped up inside on a tablet or a computer screen. So up here, all part and parcel of it. At the start of the season I would buy the 3 season tickets, and at Korean it's cheap enough. It's geared towards the families and making it affordable. The last 2 league meetings have been 0-0. I don't think the final will be like that at all. I think the 2 teams will go at each other, and Sunday afternoon everybody in good spirits. It should be an entertaining day out, and everybody, I'm sure, no matter where you are in the country, will be more than welcoming to new faces all around the place.
Started for my grandfather. He was born in the Donegal Road and was an avid Linfield fan, and then the migration out to Rathcoole started, and he moved out to there and was one of the early members of the First Newton Abbey Linfield Supporters Club. So they always went to the matches, and then he started my father going to the matches. So the natural progression was when I got old enough, I went to the matches. Match day would be a bit chaotic. Caitlin would be playing hockey for school most weeks. She just says, you know, can I go one day? And she went one day, and to be fair, home away, she loves it. She just, you know, so it's became a real family occasion for us. Dylan would be playing football. He plays in the National League, and then we come together, and we normally either meet my dad would either come and watch, or we would meet him on the road up, pick him up, and then we just head to Windsor. It's great meeting up with people, you know, the same people. We literally have like friends at Linfield who we don't see any other time. We don't even know their second names, but knowing their first names for probably 25, 30 years. So, you know, it's good, but, you know, to bring your friends and you know, my kids have met other kids, and, you know, and you meet them in other places, and you have that in common, that you're in matches at Linfield. Out, support the team. You know, I think it was 11,000 last year. It would be amazing to get more than that. You know, Linfield, we should be getting 11,000 probably on our own. So it would be cup final, you want to win. You know, we've already lost one cup final this year. We're not going to be in the Irish Cup final, so you know this is a big one. And a Sunday final, I personally think Sunday games are great, and it has a real family day because you can go out for a bite of lunch or you can go for breakfast. You're not in a rush because it's Saturday, you know, it's all around other sport, you know, for the kids. So it's great, you know, on a Sunday you can go, bit of breakfast, maybe even a couple of sticky beers beforehand, and then hopefully celebrating afterwards.
Saturday's a busy day, as any family man or woman will know. Saturday's a busy day in a household, so you know everything's just going on a Saturday morning. So it's a wee bit manic till you get your lunch at 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then it's in the car and up the road to wherever we're going to that on any given Saturday.
You see faces that you don't see week in, week out, or even through the week or whatever, and you get to meet up with them on Saturday and you get a gulder and a laugh and a joke and carry on. That's what it's about. Like the way down, seeing their wee mates and running about, running riot, the fresh air rather than sitting cooped up inside on a tablet or a computer screen. So up here, all part and parcel of it. At the start of the season I would buy the 3 season tickets, and at Corey it's cheap enough, it's geared towards the families and making it affordable. The last 2 league meetings have been 0-0. I don't think the final will be like that at all. I think the 2 teams will go at each other, and Sunday afternoon everybody in good spirits. It should be an entertaining day out, and everybody I'm sure no matter where you are in the country will be more than welcoming to new faces all around the place.
Started for my grandfather. He was born in the Donegal Road and was an avid Linfield fan, and then the migration out to Rathcoole started, and he moved out to there and was one of the early members of the First Newton Abbey Linfield Supporters Club. So they always went to the matches, and then he started my father going to the matches. So the natural progression was when I got old enough, I went to the matches. Match day would be a bit chaotic. Caitlin would be playing hockey for school most weeks. She just says, you know, can I go one day? And she went one day, and to be fair, home away, she loves it. She just, you know, so it's became a real family occasion for us. Dylan would be playing football. He plays in the National League, and then we come together, and we normally either meet my dad. My dad would either come and watch, or we would meet him on the road up, pick him up, and then we just head to Windsor. It's great meeting up with people, you know, the same people. We literally have like friends at Linfield who we don't see any other time. Don't even know their second names, but knowing their first names for probably 25, 30 years. So, you know, it's good, but, you know, to bring your friends and you know, my kids have met other kids, and, you know, and you meet them in other places, and you have that in common, that you're at matches at Linfield. Get out, support the team, you know. I think it was 11,000 last year. It would be amazing to get more than that, you know. Linfield, we should be getting 11,000 probably on our own. So it would be cup final, you want to win. You know, we've already lost one cup final this year. We're not going to be in the Irish Cup final, so you know this is a big one. And a Sunday final, I personally think Sunday games are great, and it has a real family day because you can go out for a bite of lunch or you can go for breakfast. You're not in a rush because it's Saturday, you know, it's all around other sport, you know, for the kids. So it's great, you know, on a Sunday you can go, bit of breakfast, maybe even a couple of sticky beers beforehand, and then hopefully celebrating afterwards.
Saturday's a busy day, as any family man or woman will know. Saturday's a busy day in a household, so you know everything's just going on a Saturday morning. So it's a wee bit manic till you get your lunch at 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then it's in the car and up the road to wherever we're going to that on any given Saturday.
Hello and welcome back. We're live at Milltown this evening for second half coverage of this Lough 41 Championship fixture between Warrenpoint Town and Ballinamallard United. Ballinamallard United took a 1-goal lead into the half-time break. A lead given to them by their captain Richard Clark from the penalty spot. He dispatched the ball into the top corner following a penalty after a handball. Warrenpoint Town also had a chance to take the lead before that. They had a penalty saved from Ryan Swan. Jack Lamonaghan in the Ballinamallard United goal, preventing his effort from going into the net. My name's Johnny Dunlop and I'm joined here by Philip Mitchell. Philip, a first half with plenty of talking points.
Yeah, 2 penalties, not something you always get. So yeah, and obviously 1 miss and 1 the goal that separates the 2 teams. So yeah, certainly it was an action-packed first half and a lot of good football played as well. Teased each other out a little bit, but I think the quality continued to improve as the game got through. It's a good night, it's a calm night, it's a good night for football. Pitch is in good nick and we're looking forward to hopefully an exciting second half here.
Ballinamallard United making a substitution there. Ryan Morse has come on. I'm not sure who has went off for Ballinamallard United, but Ryan Morse has come on there as a second half sub for the Mallards.
I think maybe Daniel Byrne, who got injured, I think maybe is who's going off. Daniel Byrne, remember, got injured down that near side. So
I think you may be right, Philip. I think he was maybe receiving a bit of treatment here after the half-time whistle down in the pitch here. So
yeah, Dara Byrne, sorry.
Dara Byrne has made way for Ballinamallard United and Ryan Morse has entered the fray. We're back underway here at Milltown. You join us live on the Northern Ireland Football League YouTube channel. Thanks for joining in from wherever you are this evening. Hope you're enjoying our coverage.
Second half substitution for Ballinamallard United, number 2 Ryan Morris, replaces number 14 Dara Byrne.
Yeah, there's confirmation of that half-time substitution. Ryan Morris, as we say, replacing Dara Byrne. Be a throw in here to Ballinamallard, quickly taken by Oren Arkinson. Cleared upfield by Keelan Dillon, but Mark Stafford wins that on the halfway line. But Warrenpoint Town regain possession. Here's Luke Wade-Slater. Orange finds Daniel McKenna. He puts that to Keelan Dillon. Dillon finds Stephen Ball with a ball into the box. Johnny McMurray sees his effort blocked, but the ball falls here to Keelan Dillon. Puts a loop ball looking for Wade-Slater, but that's headed clear by Ballinamallard United. And referee Shane McGonigal points there's a Ballinamallard player down.
Yeah.
Not sure who it is down.
Mark Stafford.
To Mark Stafford?
No, Mark Stafford up there, throwing his body in front of the ball. Almost John Terry-esque. So it was. I think he made a mistake and then he threw his body in front of him. He almost lay down and blocked the shot from Johnny McMurray. I was laughing at that. It was a classic old style defending.
Ballinamallard United player that's down looks in a bit of pain, getting attended to by the physio.
I think it's John Ferry, is it?
Just while we have this break and play here at Milltown, we once again run through those scores today, the final scores in the Lough 41 Championship finished Ballyclare Comrades 1, Dundallan 0, Dergview 2, Ards 3, Harlan Wolf Welders 7, Knockbreda 1, Institute 2, Anna United 0, Lough 1, Newington 0. In the Danske Bank Premiership it finished Ballymena United 0, Crusaders 0, Carrick Rangers 2, Larne 3, Cliftonville 2, Glentoran 1, Glenavon 0, Newry City 2 and Linfield 2, Coleraine 0. It's Ronan McKinley who was down receiving treatment, but he looks fit to continue and get back into action here for Ballinamallard United. Shane McGonigal recalls him on as John Edgar's first time ball, but that runs out for a goal kick to Warrenpoint Town. We were talking earlier on, Warrenpoint Town, Philip, are on a great run of form. I think only one defeat in the last 9 of a victory here today will take them into second place in the Lough 41 Championship. They're not want to let that chance go here this evening, sure they won't.
No, well, they've been well in the game. I think probably Ballinamallard just on the balance play the last 10 minutes or so were the better team, and they ultimately converted their penalty, and Warrenpoint didn't. That's probably been the tail of the tape for the first half, but they're still well in this. It'll be interesting to see if as it progresses, will players, it's sometimes managers don't need to make changes in terms of personnel and formations. Players actually just realise where the weaknesses are in the opposition, where they can penetrate. And that's something that I'll be looking to see. Keelan Dillon was very impressive in the first half as kind of the architect in their team midfield. Fran McCaffrey obviously is their number 10, but probably expecting a wee bit more maybe from the McMurray Swan partnership too. But again, we've got to give some credit to Ballinamallard back three. They've marshalled them pretty well too in there, so we'll see how it unfolds. Obviously it takes a minute or two to the second half to settle down.
Nick Palmer trying to get away there from Dylan Hahn, but Dylan Hahn gets a challenge and that'll be a throw into Ballinamallard United level with the Warrenpoint 18-yard box. Throw in taken. Twisting and turning here from Palmer. Tries to get across him, but that's blocked by Dylan Hahn, but Palmer's still with the ball. And that will be a goal kick to Warrenpoint Town. Stephen Ball led upfield by Hahn. Keelan Dillon carries that for Warrenpoint Town, looking for the ball out to Luke Wade Slater, but he gets that all wrong, and that'll be a throw into Ballinamallard United.
If you're Harry McConkie in the dressing room, I think you'll be saying these first 5 or 10 minutes, don't let them back in the game, be solid, do everything well, keep the ball, keep an eye on McMurray and Swan, keep them quiet. Good start. They've won some of the early duels, Stafford, McCann and Peter Maguire, so they started well. Ballinamallard, they've got to continue to do well.
Caffrey looking for the ball out to Stephen Ball, but that's picked up by Aaron Arkinson, but it's back with Warrenpoint Town. Dylan finds, but Ballinamallard win that ball back. Richard Clark, his ball travels through to Connor Mitchell in the Warrenpoint Town goal, who's eager to get the action back underway here. Dylan Hahn. Side across to Daniel Byrne. Byrne back out to Carroll. Carroll under pressure from Ballinamallard, but he gets the ball upfield. Luke Wade Slater. Carroll upfield.
Yeah, good covering across there.
That'll be a corner to Warrenpoint Town. They'll be eager to get a goal back here, to get the game back on level terms. Keelan Dillon trots over to take this corner for Warrenpoint Town.
I was intrigued that whenever a team puts everybody back in their box to defend it, I always think keep 1 or 2 up means you got to keep the opposition got to keep 1 or 2 in that box as well. But go for the short corner here.
Short corner. Every Ballinamallard United player back in their own area. Keelan Dillon with an effort. A solid effort there from distance, but Jack Lamonhan gathers that comfortably in the Ballinamallard United goal. Looking back at the meetings between the teams since August 2015, there's been 12 meetings in all. Warrenpoint Town have won 4 of those, Ballinamallard United have won 5. There's been 3 draws. On 8 occasions of those 12 meetings, 8 home wins.
Wow. So
Ballinamallard United so far bucking the trend here this evening. They lead Warrenpoint Town by a goal to 0. Challenge there by Stephen Ball. Ball through by Ben McCann, looking for John Edgar. Here's Fran McCaffrey for Warrenpoint Town, the skipper. As the ball's stolen. An effort from Ballinamallard United, number 17. Just goes over the bar.
Patrick Ferry.
For those wondering, Patrick Ferry seems to have took the number 17 shirt for the second half. It wore number 20 in the first.
It's confusing enough for us.
Me and Philip were looking at each other wondering who this number 17 was. There wasn't a number 17 down on the team sheet, but Ballinamallard United have confirmed that it's indeed Patrick Ferry in the 17 shirt for the second half.
A great strike, by the way. He turned well and swiveled. He pulled the trigger well. He was only a yard or 2 over the bar.
Get out of space!
So he'll be encouraged by that, because he didn't get a lot of joy in the first half.
The space opened up for him there, Philip, and he took the shot on. Wasn't far away at all. The last league victory for Ballinamallard United over Warrenpoint Town came back in April 18. A 2-0 victory at Fernie Park, goals by Stephen O'Flynn and Ryan Kern give the Malage a victory that day.
That was a great ball in from Stevie Ball. Got the better of Aaron Hawkinson that time. That's been a terrific battle. This great delivery in as well. And there's a chance there for Warrenpoint. They've got the corner.
Warrenpoint beginning the second half by asking questions, looking to get an equaliser to get back into this game.
Stevie Ball looking at it. Fran McCaffrey's going short.
Quick free kick finds Fran McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a low daisy cutter, but it's cleared. It comes back again to McCaffrey. The ball bouncing about, and Rand Swan had his arms up in the air. He thought that had crossed the line, but doesn't appear to. No, it must have been very close. We're just seeing a replay of it on screen there now. I think it was Fran McCaffrey. The ball dropped for Swan. He thought he'd scored the ball. I think hit the top of the bar.
Stevie Drum, I think.
Bounced down. Oh yes, sorry, Stephen Drum. But no goal. Very, very close.
Yeah.
Warrenpoint there to grabbing an equaliser.
Value of a short corner on that side. McCaffrey almost engineering an opportunity for them.
Where's the goal line system in VAR when you need it, Philip?
Sometimes they don't get that right either, do they?
No, they don't.
Especially a couple of weeks ago.
Be sitting here for 5 minutes waiting on the decision, but the decision is no goal. Monaghan with the ball upfield. Referee judges Dylan Hand committed a foul, or that'll be a free kick to Ballinamallard United in a dangerous position. It was Nick Palmer fouled there by Dylan Hand. So free kick to Ballinamallard out in the right hand side. I think Richard Clark will float this in. Mark Stafford is up from the back.
Yeah, it was Ryan Swan had that effort in goal. I said Stephen Drummond was, of course, Ryan Swan. He had the effort.
Must have only been inches from going over the line.
Let's get across them. Get in there, Cuddy. Ryan, stay alive,
Clark with the free kick into the box.
It's a great ball.
Headed clear by McMurray. Picked up by McCaffrey, headed on. And Warrenpoint could possibly break here, but the ball gets away from them. Ballinamallard gain possession, but here come Warrenpoint again. Here's Luke Wade Slater out the right hand side. His ball looking for McMurray has too much pace on it, and that travels out for a goal kick to Ballinamallard United. Solid header there from Warrenpoint, flicked on by McMurray. For Swan, but Ballinamallard clear that upfield.
Getting a little bit scrappy, a little bit territorial. They'll not want to turn it in that. Both teams have got plenty of footballers out there who can get the ball down and play. That'll not suit either team.
Picked up by McMurray here for Warrenpoint, but
Peter Maguire, another really good challenge. We've talked a lot about Stafford, but Maguire and McCann have been excellent beside him.
Cross one neck. Open down out.
Great ball from Dillon. Kill Dillon, some player.
Stephen Ball skips past Aaron Arkinson, puts a teasing ball into the box, but that's headed clear for another corner to Warrenpoint Town.
Yeah, Stevie Ball's nipped in a couple of times and just got the foot in early, but he's lost the last two battles now with Stevie Ball. Arkinson trying to win the ball, so Stevie Ball's put a couple of really good deliveries in there. So Aaron Arkinson's got to make sure he doesn't dive in, because Stevie Ball's got such a great left peg.
Corner taken, but that's cleared at the near post. Ball falls for Dylan Hand. Ballinamallard can break here through Patrick Ferry, but Hand is on hand to clear that out and clear away the danger for a throw into Ballinamallard United.
Dave, somebody speak to them.
Not too much pace in that though, and that's through to Connor Mitchell, who
Ram Morris trying to hit John Edgar and the ball in behind there, but didn't get that.
Good close down there by Ballinamallard captain Clark. Ballinamallard United's away form, league form this season. They played 13 and won only 4 of those 13, scoring 13 and conceding 24 in the process. So they'll be looking for a rare away victory here this evening. They currently lead Warrenpoint Town by a goal to nil. Richard Clark, the goal scorer. Here's Luke Wade Slater for Warrenpoint Town. He maybe takes too long over that cross, and when his cross did come in, I think it maybe took a slight deflection, which took any pace off the ball.
Just about to say, Ryan Morris settled them well, so he has, but he kind of dove in there a little bit. Wade Slater got around the back of him, put a dangerous ball in the box, and that could have undone Ballinamallard, because they've started this second half well. We're 17 minutes in, that's a free cover. Referee's got the advantage.
Here's Patrick Ferry skipping, puts the ball back. Here's McKinley, his effort though is blocked. Now Warrenpoint can break the ball out by Johnny McMurray. Finds Luke Wade-Slater out on the right hand side, looking for support. Finds McMurray again. Murray back to Luke Wade-Slater. Slater with a cross into the box, but that's cleared by Stafford. Here's Carroll, looping cross into the box, but there's too much on that. The ball will drift out for a goal kick.
Yeah, like Ballinamallard bench not happy because Nick Palmer was clattered early in that move. The referee done the right thing, playing the advantage. Here it is now. But
Daniel McKenna with the challenger on Nick Palmer.
Yeah, seemed like he got plenty of the ball as well, so not sure it was that bad. But Ballinamallard were under pressure. Warrenpoint broke, and we're just watching players tracking back in, and there was Ryan Swan was free a couple of times as that move was developing and wasn't really picked up. We've got to be careful with him. He's a real threat.
Arkinson goes back to the defender who plays that upfield, looking for Palmer, but here's Keelan Dillon for Warrenpoint. Looks for that rasping ball out to the right hand side for Luke Wade-Slater. Slater up against.
Keelan Dillon's been superb, by the way. Absolutely superb. The whole game. His passing's been absolutely right on the money.
Loves that rasping ball out to the right there to Luke Wade-Slater. Look for that quite often, don't
he has.
Ball into the box. Clear by Maguire. Warrenpoint appealing for a penalty. Johnny McMurray feels he was bundled over in the 6-yard box, but nothing given by referee Shane McGonigal. It was a good advantage by the referee in that earlier break there by Ballinamallard United.
Yeah, Keelan Dillon's just upped the game a wee bit, so he has. He's just starting to dictate the game. And they've got to make sure that either Edgar or McKinley attaches to him, because he could do a lot of damage from that. It just looks like he's just went up a couple of different gears. The clock, he's going to have to make sure he uses all his experience to keep control again for Ballinamallard.
Here's Nick Palmer, but Dillon hands on hand to clear, and Keelan Dillon comes away with it from Warrenpoint Town. From McCaffrey. McCaffrey to McKenna. McKenna helps that on to Wade-Slater. Back to McKenna, but Richard Clark intercepts. Finds Arkinson. Arkinson finds a run of Ferry out here on the right hand side. Ferry with a cross into the box. The ball looked like it had fallen for Edgar, and he seemed to have sort of misjudged or got his timing wrong there. The ball then fell for the Ballinamallard United player coming in at the back post, but Mitchell was in hand to make the save.
Brilliant from Richard Clark. Just made the interception, controlled the pace of the game, and then they've got young Ferry down that side, and terrific. That was good play. I think we've seen a wee bit in the second half. Just has been a wee bit territorial. People just trying to play balls in behind, particularly Ballinamallard, and they don't. If they keep doing that, they're going to play in the Warrenpoint's hands. Here's Andy Carroll coming on, top goal scorer for them, right?
Yeah, Adam Carroll comes on, 10 goals so far for the striker. He makes his way on. He takes the place of Ryan Swan. Carroll, who's named Championship Player of the Month for January, bagging a staggering 9 goals in the month, including a hat-trick against Ards and a 5-3 thriller. So he will now go up top and partner Johnny McMurray as Warrenpoint Town look for this all-important equaliser. Helped on by McMurray. From McCaffrey. Stephen Ball. But that is cleared. Ballinamallard United player down following the challenge. Yes, Warren Arkinson, who's on the end of a challenge there. But he's back up on his feet, albeit a bit gingerly, but throw into Warrenpoint, quickly taken by McMurray, but he miscontrols that, and the ball goes back out for a throw into Ballinamallard United. Into the 68th minute here now at Milltown, still Warrenpoint Town 0, Ballinamallard United 1. Richard Clark gave Ballinamallard United the lead in the 30th minute from the penalty spot. Here's McMurray. Right, looking for Luke Wade Slater, but that's intercepted, but back with Keelan Dillon.
Keelan Dillon, what a player. The eyes of a Siberian seagull. Him and Clark are now starting to really exert their influence on the game. The difference between the two teams for me in the second half has been that down the sides, the threat from Ballinamallard down the sides disappeared. Arkinson's found himself defending now against Stevie Ball. Rand Morris has found himself defending on the other side against Wade Slater, and that's now where the initiative has been seized for me from Warrenpoint, and they're now trying to obviously make that tail as well. So, but Ballinamallard have weathered it pretty well up to now, but they've got to keep playing. The last thing Ballinamallard need in this game is to start sitting back and trying to invade it all on. I think they'll be undone if they do that, in spite of how well that back three have played. So that's where the game's just swung a wee bit in Warrenpoint's favour for me.
Arkinson with the throw, but foul throw, so Warrenpoint Town will get that throw. Harry McConkey here disappointed with giving away that throw in so cheaply. Going to be another substitution. It's Jim O'Hanlon making his way on for Warrenpoint Town. He comes on for Daniel McKenna. Another vastly experienced player, Jim O'Hanlon.
Yeah. Well, Barry's not waiting, he's making the changes early.
Former Glentoran midfielder. Spent some time in Australia before returning to Northern Ireland and signing for Warrenpoint Town.
I remember Jim, I remember. He was a good player. I wonder where he went. So he went down under.
It's Daniel Byrne, carries the ball forward. Looking for Luke Wade Slater again, but doesn't find him. Headed on by McCaffrey, back with Luke Wade Slater. Carries the ball inside. Finds Dillon. Stephen Ball. Ball tries to skip past Aaron Arkinson, but loses out to the Ballinamallard number 7.
Brilliant play for Ronan McKinley.
Here's Nick Palmer. Ball across the box for the sliding ferry, but he doesn't connect with it.
Great play from Ronan McKinley, really tremendous. Just knocked the ball, built up the play, got the knock back, and super ball in behind for Nick Palmer. That's what Ballinamallard need to keep doing, is keep the ball on the floor, keep trying to pass, keep trying to play, because Warrenpoint are going to have a go, so those opportunities will come.
Stephen Ball in front of us here, struggling for Warrenpoint Town.
I think he just got clowned out. Arkansas left a little bit in him in that last challenge.
He's hobbling back into his own half, but isn't moving freely at all. Again, if you're tuning in here this evening on the official Northern Ireland Football League YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any great content that'll be on the channel. Lots of great content daily on there. Here's Richard Clark, Ballinamallard United skipper. Ball out to the right hand side, finds Edgar. Edgar gets the ball into the box. It's headed clear by Warrenpoint. Stephen Ball closely marshalled by Aaron Arkinson, and he has to put that out for a throw into Ballinamallard.
Richard Clark, hey, rolling back the years.
Been there and seen it all, as Richard Clark started out was with Omagh Town before making the move to Newry Town as it was then, Newry City today, and then onto Glentoran and Crusaders, and won it all and seen it all in the Irish League. Now with his hometown club of Ballinamallard. Clark rolls that back. It's Ben McCann, but that's picked up by McMurray. He's very deep. He puts that across to Luke Wade Slater out on the right hand side. Slater finds O'Hanlon. Picked up there by Dylan Hand. Hand out to Wade Slater, but that's intercepted.
Yeah, Ryan Morris just need to be a bit tidy. Ryan Morris has picked a couple of good passes off there. He's done well, but he's got to be careful of that final ball.
McMurray with the header. Looking for Carroll. The 1 point Town are looking at penalty. Carroll feels he was fouled, but Shane McGonagall's not having any of it.
Really good play, really good cushioned header back in by McMurray, and but great defending from Maguire. Peter Maguire just came right across there and shepherded Carroll into an area where he couldn't get the shot off. So he's been great, really great. Those three.
Ballinamallard defended admirably this evening. There's
Killing Dylan. It's like watching Andrea Pirlo watching this lad play.
He loves spraying the ball, doesn't he?
He's a great passer of the ball.
Cleared by Mark Stafford.
His body shape's great. He knows he's great awareness. You know, he's the passes in his head before he gets the ball. Him and Clark have been tremendous.
Keelan Dinley arrived at Warrenpoint Town from Drogheda in January 2020. Former Longford Bohemians and off-loan player. Also spent time at Derby County and Hull City in his younger years.
You can see it.
Just getting a replay of that penalty shoutout. McMurray headed the ball down, and I think it was Maguire made a last-ditch challenge on Carroll. Carroll, although they weren't the most ferocious appeals from Carroll for a penalty.
Yeah. Maguire's track runners all night. He's been very perceptive.
Ball finds its way through to Ferry, but he's offside. Puts the ball in the net anyway.
It's a great battle now. Could go either way. It's been great. Great advert for the championship.
Ballinamallard United manager Harry McConkey out marshalling his side. 15 minutes to go here at Milltown. Still Warrenpoint Town 0, Ballinamallard United 1.
Yeah, Clark, he was clever there. Just got on the other side of Jim O'Hanlon, and he won the free kick.
It's players like Richard Clark and Mark Stafford with 15 minutes here to go in such a big fixture, Philip, that the other players in the Ballinamallard United team will look to manage the game and see the game out and do the proper things.
Yeah.
Get those vital 3 points.
They certainly will.
Clark with the free kick. Looks for Stafford, but Daniel Burns there. And that will be a corner to Ballinamallard.
Don't be vulnerable. Go in. Go ahead, jump up. Get in. Straight up.
Richard Clark adjusts his captain's armband as he trots over to take this corner.
Harry McConkey shouting instructions on there to Ronan McKinley just to take up a position around the edge of the box. Nobody up front from Warrenpoint. They've suddenly got everybody back, so.
Corner put in. Maguire's there at the back post, but Warrenpoint have enough players back
and no one forward at this point, but a couple breaking. Well done, Ryan Morris. And well done.
Looks like Nick Palmer, yeah.
Just got clipped.
What do you make of that tactic, Philip? You know, you're 1-0 down, you're chasing the game, and the opposition side have a corner and you have everybody back for that. You know, there's that aspect of it that if you win the ball, there's nobody up top to put the ball to.
I'm always surprised. I certainly, any time I was involved in the game, I always favour keeping 2 or 3 up. I sometimes, you know, if you keep 3 higher up the pitch, the opposition tend to say, well, we'll keep 4 out of your box, and all of a sudden you only 6 play. We've a corner kick take, only 5 attacking the ball then. So, but everybody's got different ideas about it all. It's a million years since I was involved, so it's yeah, it's interesting that I think a lot of coaches and managers prefer having everybody back to say, well, we're defending the ball in our box. I'd rather have all the bodies back in there. But if you clear it, you've nobody to retrieve it. You know, that was my logic with it.
Keelan Dillon knocks the ball back to the
13 to go, but I reckon there's been a few wee stoppages, hasn't there? So there'll be a wee bit of injury time.
Edgar with the header, but that's picked up by Byrne and then cleared upfield by Stephen Ball, looking for Carroll, but Maguire's there. Great challenge, and that's picked up now by Ronan McKinley for Ballinamallard United, looking for options.
Just needed to go to John Edgar. John Edgar was in loads of space.
Finds Ferry back to McKinley.
Managed to get back.
Ballinamallard retained possession. Richard Clark with the ball, looking for Edgar, but Warrenpoint regained possession. Stephen Ball with looking for the ball, but there's no one there, and the ball travels all the way through to Jack Lamonhan in the Ballinamallard United goal, and he will take his time and invites Warrenpoint to come and attempt to take the ball so he can pick it up. Ballinamallard United winding down the minutes into the 79th minute here at Milltown. Still Warrenpoint Town 0, Ballinamallard United 1.
11 on the clock.
Met by Ball. Haven't lost it, Philip. Johnny McMurray picks that up, but there's Patrick Ferry. But Murray nicks that back off and finds Steve Ball. Murray cutting a frustrated figure.
Yeah, he needs to get up front, not be worrying about somebody clipping him. He's got to get back in the areas where he can create chances and score goals. That's his job.
Warrenpoint Town will be looking to him to get goals to push their promotion bid. Arrived from Crusaders in January, has yet to find the target since the move to Milltown. Dylan Hahn with the ball back to his keeper, and Daniel Byrne helps that on.
Get across, Paddy! Get across!
James Carroll finds Keelan Dillon. Dillon turns away from Edgar. Finds O'Hanlon. Hanlon looking for Wade Slater, but too much on that in the game back with Lamonhan, who...
Interesting, John Edgar's maybe just now trying to attach to Keelan Dillon, who's was running him up for a good 20 minutes out there in this second half, and it looks like he's kind of now playing almost like a 10, just so he can get closer to Dillon and stop him spraying those balls, getting a bit higher up the pitch. So good to see just how that materialises as well.
Picked up here by Palmer, but he miscontrols that. Dillon with that long range pass again out to the right to Wade Slater. Slater skips away from Ryan Morse, puts a low cross into the box looking for Carroll, but the ball travels through to Lamonhan in the Ballinamallard United goal.
What another pass from Keelan Dillon, unbelievable. And we're seeing a tremendous range of passing tonight, both sides, short, long passing, everything. It's like watching Alexander the Great defeating the Persians. Oh, it's great feet there.
Great feet by Ferry, but he's closely monitored by Jim O'Hanlon, who wins that back, and Keelan Dillon picks that up for Warrenpoint Town. Wade Slater back to Dillon. Back to Wade Slater. Slater gestures for support. Dylan Hand. Here's to Stephen Ball, who seems to have recovered from that knock that he suffered about 5 or 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, Harry McConkey urging Palmer and Ferry to keep working this back three. slide them across different areas, and they're both doing this very well.
Dylan Hand. Back to Byrne as Warrenpoint knocked the ball about the back, looking for a pass. Byrne with the ball looking for Johnny McMurray, but McMurray is offside, and there will be another substitution, and it will be Luke Walsh that's going to come on for Warrenpoint Town, and Johnny McMurray is the man that departs. What do you make of that change, Philip?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, Johnny's obviously got a lot of experience. I just, I think at times for me, just he hasn't posed as big a threat as probably Barry might have hoped. But it's a good player. He showed lots of good passes of play, good feet at times, cushioned a great header in for young Carroll 5 or 10 minutes ago.
It was Luke Walsh, the substitute for Warrenpoint, who scored a 95th minute equaliser up at Fernie Park in the last meeting between the sides to secure Warrenpoint Town a point.
Well, Barry's obviously got that in mind. He's thinking somebody that can be a confidence thing, because you've done it before against the same opposition.
Luke Walsh is Warrenpoint Town's second highest goal scorer this season. He has 8. So he's been put on with,
that's a good reason to make a change.
Yeah, with that goal scoring record in mind. Warrenpoint Town now with their 2 top goal scorers on the pitch, and Adam Carroll and Luke Walsh. So they look for this all-important equaliser into the 84th minute here at Milltown. Still Warrenpoint Town 0, Ballinamallard United 1.
Stevie Ball and Wade Slater really pushed on high now.
Free kick looking for ball, but too much on that, and Ballinamallard managed to clear, and then a foul by Jim O'Hanlon.
Yeah, unnecessary one.
On
Ronan just helps Ballinamallard to run the clock down.
Is that a sign of frustration, Philip?
Yeah, well, just I think the defender was clever from Ballinamallard to win it, but yeah, you've just got to try and stay on your feet. Don't be giving fouls in there. You know, it's been nearly a minute before they actually play the ball forward again. They've managed the second half well, Ballinamallard, they really have. There was a wee period I thought they were just starting to play a bit territorial, a little bit long, and it wasn't conducive for them or helpful for them, but they've defended well. The 2 lads who, as I say, were probably losing the battle down the side, you've defended well in Arkinson and Morris. Just haven't been the threat going forward. But Palmer and Ferry this half actually have been a real handful. I thought they've been super this half, both in possession and out of possession. Yeah, free kick, good spot, referee.
Let's go! Let's go!
Here's Dylan for Warrenpoint Town. Another rasping pass looking for Stephen Ball. Palmer tried to turn his man but miscontrolled. It'll be a free kick to Warrenpoint Town, I think it was.
Yeah, referee tried to let the advantage go and he's brought it back. It's the first time we've seen a free kick around this area. From McCaffrey is going to be over this. Caelan Dillon will be over it. Stevie Ball over it. Plenty forward.
Is this one of those scenarios, Philip, where do you look for the shot? Do you look to put it into the box?
Stevie Ball's going to stick us in the box because
he does.
Carroll's up there. There it is.
It's the equaliser for Warrenpoint Town. I think possibly, is it Daniel Byrne has got the final touch on that? We'll see the replays here now.
James
Carroll, we've been told, got the final touch.
There's a great ball in from Stevie Ball. They haven't been in that position to take a free kick at any time in the game, and they sent all the big men up.
So Warrenpoint equalised. James Carroll with the equaliser. Warrenpoint Town 1, Ballinamallard United 1. So in the 87th minute, free kick into the box by Steve Ball, and there was Carroll to head into the back of the net to grab his first goal of the season. Everybody was looking to the Aller Carroll to get the goal this evening once he came on, but it's his namesake, James Carroll, who's put the ball into the back of the net. And with 5 minutes to go, can Warrenpoint grab that winner to take second spot in the Lough 41 Championship? Dylan with a looping ball into the box. There's a head on to that, cleared by Arkinson. Be picked up here by Fra McCaffrey. Finds Wade Slater. Slater with a cross into the box, and that'll be another corner to Warrenpoint Town as their search for a late winner is to come back on for Warrenpoint. Another set piece to be taken here by Stephen Ball. Ballinamallard with everybody back for this. Short corner took to Fra McCaffrey. McCaffrey rolled it back out to Wade Slater, but he's offside.
Wasted opportunity there for Warrenpoint, really wasted opportunity.
Can hear the shouts of Barry Gray, who's bitterly disappointed with that corner routine. Substitution here for Ballinamallard United.
Rory Sludden
coming on, and
Nick Palmer coming off. I think Nick's done put in a good shift in this half. He has worked really hard. Him and Ferry, I thought in the second half particularly, have held the ball up better, got him behind, really benefited from a lot of good build-up play from McKinley and Clark in particular, also Edgar. First time I've had to defend a free kick from an area like that, and all the big men went up, and there was a lot of presence up there at the time with Carroll, and Byrne was up as well.
Slutton with throw. Just Ferry has skipped into the box. I think he rattles the post. Just Ferry, the ball's still there. Tried to be put back in by Slutton, but Warrenpoint clear. Chancer for Ballinamallard to regain the lead, but it's Warrenpoint who come forward here. Here's Luke Walsh, but he miscontrols, and Warrenpoint regain possession. It's Luke Wade Slater out in the right hand side, across into the box.
Brilliant defending from McCann. And the end stuff here now.
A frantic last few minutes here as both teams go in search of a winner. Head on by Clark. Ball nearly falls to Edgar, but Daniel Burns are to clear. Now Sludden's adjudged a foul. Byrne.
They're both going for it here. That's great.
End stuff here at Milltown. Both teams were very much everything to play for in the Lough 41 Championship. So you were saying earlier on, a victory this evening will send Warrenpoint second above Anna United, following Anna United's defeat this afternoon to Institute, while Ballinamallard are eager to make that top 6 berth ahead of the split. Richard Clark to Stafford. Stafford finds Edgar, but Keelan Dillon has been excellent this evening, wins that ball back out to Luke Wade Slater out on the right hand side. Slater up against Morse, skips past Morse, puts a cross into the box.
Keeper does great,
but yeah, the young keeper does well there.
Brilliant from Wade Slater.
And as he tries to kick that out,
Yellow card for Adam Carroll. Yeah.
Adam Carroll nips the ball out of his hands, and it's a booking for the substitute. So we're booking there for Adam Carroll.
Terrific last 5 minutes. Terrific.
Into injury time here now at Milltown. We'd imagine there's 3 or 4 minutes. There's been a few substitutions and a few injuries. The past 2 meetings between the sides this season have both ended in 1-1 draws, so it's sticking to type here at Milltown this evening. Dylan Hahn clears that upfield. Headed on by McCaffrey, but back in by Aaron Arkinson. Both sides.
Really both going for it. Tremendous.
Game has really come to life since that Warrenpoint Town equaliser. Headed on by Byrne. Headed down by O'Hanlon to Dillon. Dillon carries the ball forward, puts a ball into the box, looking for Luke Walsh, but just get anything on that, and then I think there's an offside. Nearly looked like Luke Walsh was going to recreate that 95th minute goal he scored against Ballinamallard earlier in the season, but not on this occasion.
Good delivery in from Keelan Dillon again, who's been certainly man of the match, no question.
Has run that midfield this evening.
Has been great. Clarky's been brilliant as well for and there's, I have to say, Keith McKinley Ronan McKinley's been super as well in the second half. I really enjoyed watching him. He's been much more involved and played in different areas of midfield. And he won a lot of second phase ball in the first half. The second half, he's been a lot more composed and cultured on the ball and built the attack well. Still chance, but this could go either way still.
Wade Slater tries to get that upfield, but Morris is there, and that'll be a throw into Warrenpoint Town, halfway inside the Ballinamallard United half.
He's been great this half as well, Wade Slater. He's had a good game all round. He's been on it all day. He's been a real threat for Warrenpoint. It's a great tackle there.
Stafford finds Edgar.
McKinley again, a great challenge. He's
Ryan Morris, field. James O'Carroll's there to head that out. That'll be a throw into Ballinamallard United. At this stage, will Ballinamallard just be trying to see the game out, Philip, and happy to go?
I don't think that's happened. I think once I was interested to see what the response would be when it went to 1-1. I think Harry was as sick as a chip in the McCain's factory, but he's really urged them on, and they've been as much of a threat here since that goal went in as Warrenpoint have. It's been brilliant, really tremendous finish to the game.
Dylan, frustrated by that foul by Sludden, gets the game back underway quickly. It's Dylan Hand. Back to Dylan. Dylan out the goal scorer, Carroll. Carroll with a cross into the box, but doesn't beat the first man. And Richard Clark will look to launch this for Ballinamallard.
Needed to keep it there. Needed to keep it Clark. He didn't need to go long. Could have built it with John Edgar on this side.
James Carroll. Ball upfield, finds McCaffrey. McCaffrey hooks that on to Carroll, but ball still in the never cleared by Ballinamallard, but only as far as Dylan Hahn. Back to Stephen Ball with a tease and cross in the box. The ball drops and it's a goal. It's a late.
No, offside. Offside.
It's offside. Adam Carroll had turned to put the ball into the net.
That was a brilliant goal, by the way. Great turn, controlled, swivelled of his right foot, pinked at his left.
The referee is going to have a chat with his linesman here. Linesman had his flag in the air. Mark Stafford is getting involved, and Carroll, the goal scorer, ushers him away. Carroll had turned, swivelled at the edge of the box and put the ball in, and it's a goal! It's been given! Adam Carroll! Swivel, turn, put the ball into the net, and has snatched a win here for Warrenpoint in the 95th minute.
What a game, unbelievable.
Adam Carroll with his 11th goal of the season, the substitute. He swiveled, turned, put the ball into the net. The linesman had his flag up. Referee went, had a chat with the linesman, and the goal has been given. And it's a late winner. It looks like for Warrenpoint Town. We had spoke earlier on about Luke Walsh's equaliser against Ballinamallard in the previous meeting up at Fernie Park. It came in the 95th minute, and it looks like they've recreated that again here. Trying to look here and see in this replay while the linesman had his flag up. There's nothing clear. You know, it's difficult to see there.
Control the inside of his right, pinged to his left. It's been an incredible game of football.
Late drama here at Milltown.
I was about to say nobody deserves to lose it, but fair play to Barry Gray tonight, because you know what I tell you, like he made them substitutions early. He went for it. He looked for different ways to get his team in behind and around. He put different personnel on. So Barry deserves a lot of credit tonight for the substitutions he made, the times he made them. Didn't change the shape of the team, but he put players on who could impact and change the game, and they ultimately have. It was a great game of football. You know, I really enjoyed it, and really it was sad in some ways that there was actually a loser in the end, because it was I thought at 1-1 they were both going for it, and you're sort of going, gosh, you know, well, the fact they're both going for it and somebody gets a winner is a credit to them. But great game of football. Ballinamallard were super tonight. Warrenpoint were great, and for them, they jump into second place in the league.
They jump into second place. They overtake Annie United to go into second place in the Lough 41 Championship. What a game we have had at Milltown this evening. It seems like a lifetime ago, Philip. It was Warrenpoint Town, who had a penalty in the first half. It was saved. It was Ryan Swan's penalty was saved by Jack Lemonaghan. Ballinamallard United then would get a penalty. It was dispatched by their captain Richard Clark to give them the lead. Then Warrenpoint Town would equalise through James Carroll in the 85th minute, before then that late goal by Adam Carroll deep into injury time to seal all 3 points for Warrenpoint Town and sends them second in the Lough 41 Championship. Thank you, Philip, for joining us here this evening. Thoroughly enjoyed your commentary. Great insight on this evening's game.
Thank you.
A big thank you to wherever you've tuned in from across the world this evening for tonight's game. You've been hopefully thoroughly entertained. We've thoroughly been entertained here. As I say, you've been tuning in on the Northern Ireland Football League YouTube channel. Make sure to give it a subscribe and to tick that notification bar so you don't miss any of the great content that's posted on there from throughout the Northern Ireland Football League. And before we go, just a reminder about the Bet McLean League Cup final. It's coming on up at the National Stadium on Sunday the 12th of March. Linfield take on Coleraine, and you can purchase your tickets for that game through nifootballleague.com/tickets. I have been Johnny Dunlop. Thank you for your company here this evening, and we will leave you with Warrenpoint Town 2, Ballinamallard United 1 in the Lough 41 Championship. Good evening.